Good afternoon. I'm 4-1 meteorologist Kim Adams. We have a line of showers and a few embedded thunderstorms out to the west about to move into Metro Detroit. We'll talk timing coming up.
Also, new information on the bridge collapse everybody is following today, including President Biden's promise on who should pay for repairs. There's a new abortion battle at the United States Supreme Court. It sure looks like the justices have tipped us off on how they might rule. We'll explain, and here's Paula.
We're at an emergency veterinarian hospital waving the caution flag for pet owners.
With the shift, we definitely need to be more cognizant.
You may already be behind in pet shots, pills, and vaccines thanks to the mild winter and early spring, but that doesn't mean you're too late.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, we are tracking the search efforts after that stunning bridge collapse in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a live look at the scene right now. The Francis Scott Key Bridge has been shattered into pieces over the Patapsco River. Now, that huge cargo ship lost power, smashed into a support, causing the bridge to come tumbling down. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with the very latest on where things stand at this hour. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. 6 people remain missing and are presumed dead more than 14 hours after that collapse. Authorities say things could have been far worse, but a mayday call from the ship allowed traffic to be stopped so fewer drivers were traveling over the busy bridge when it actually fell. If you haven't seen this video, pay close attention here to the left-hand side of your screen. The 985-foot ship approaches the bridge, and you can see the lights on the ship go out just as it smashes into the support there. Then the bridge, as you see, comes tumbling down within seconds. It's believed those who are missing were part of a construction crew patching holes on the bridge when it collapsed. Sonar has showed there are several cars in the dangerously cold waters beneath. Once the sun rose, you could get a better view of the devastation left behind. The bridge was a major traffic artery along the East Coast. Highway signs as far away as Virginia have gone up, warning drivers of the delays associated with the collapse. The accident has also affected ship traffic through the Port of Baltimore. It's a mess that will linger for a while. Still, though, officials are so relieved the ship made that mayday call. We'll hear a big promise from President Biden coming up, but first I want you to listen to the governor of Maryland. Listen.
Once the warning came up and once notification came up that there was a mayday, who literally by being able to stop cars from coming over the bridge, these people are heroes. They saved lives last night.
It's my intention that the federal government will pay for the entire cost of reconstructing that bridge, and I expect the Congress to support my effort. This is going to take some time. The people of Baltimore can count on us, though, to stick with them at every step of the way until the port is reopened and the bridge is rebuilt.
A bridge collapse like this is certainly dramatic, but not unheard of. One group says there have been 35 major bridge disasters due to ship or barge collisions between 1960 and 2015. You can see continuing coverage at 5, 6, and on nightly news at 6:30. For now, though, Karen, we'll send it back to you for more news of the day.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Millions of people are now analyzing every word from the Supreme Court justices during oral arguments over access to a commonly used abortion pill. This was the scene outside the United States Supreme Court before the case was heard today. The plaintiffs argued FDA decisions in 2016 and 2021 to expand access to mifepristone were unreasonable and put women's health at risk. Right now, it looks like most of the justices were skeptical. The abortion opponents who brought the suit had the legal standing to sue. Even 3 justices who voted to overturn Roe versus Wade had critical questions for the plaintiffs. Now, if the court rules they don't have standing, the current rules would stay in place, allowing that expanded access. So we should see a ruling by early this summer. In your first forecast, many of you should be in the calm between the storms right now. We're tracking another wave of showers headed towards us this evening. This is a live look at Southfield on the left. Traffic is moving pretty fast and smooth, and Mount Clemens is on your right. Looks a little hazier in the sky over there. Chance of severe weather with strong winds being the biggest concern for us this afternoon. Let's head over to Kim Adams for the latest. So when will this next wave affect the evening drive?
Well, between 6 and about 9 o'clock tonight. So if you have an early evening drive between now and 6 o'clock, you should be fine, especially if you're on the east side. And we are watching this line of showers and a few embedded thunderstorms. The good news for us is that we did not get the sunshine this afternoon. And so instability is not quite as bad as it would be had we gotten that sunshine. But there are some high winds within that line and also a little bit of lightning as well. But you can see here in Detroit, we're dry right now and quiet. But as we go through the next several hours, that line will quickly move. It's kind of got almost a northeasterly shift here, but it will come more east as we go throughout the next hour. But you can see how narrow it is. It's a very short line. So it's going to come through and be done very, very quickly. But we are still in a marginal risk for severe weather. That's the lowest on the threat level. And then you get out to Howell and Ann Arbor, and it goes up to slight. But again, with the clouds, we are not expecting widespread severe weather. If something does pop severe, it would likely be because the winds got above 60 miles per hour. We'll talk more about the rest of this evening and also take a sneak peek of Easter Sunday coming up.
All right, thank you, Kim. An Ecorse man is being held without bond after being arraigned in the assault of a 13-year-old. Wayne County prosecutors say 52-year-old Michael Holcomb assaulted the teenager at an Allen Park home on March 13th. The arraignment happened over Zoom this morning. Holcomb faces several charges, including criminal sexual conduct and unlawful imprisonment. He is also facing separate charges in the assault of two elderly women over in Dearborn. Holcomb is due back in court April 1st. So we are 30 days away from the NFL draft in Detroit. Today, city leaders are urging football fans to start thinking about their plans to be part of the fun. Mayor Mike Duggan says construction on the massive stage is about to start. So that means the city will start shutting down some downtown streets. Starting Friday, watch for closures on Randolph, Monroe, Farmer, Bates, and part of Jefferson for construction at Hart Plaza. If you want to get close to the action, you need an NFL One Pass. They're available right now for free through an app. The mayor estimates about only 1 in 4 fans will make it into that fenced-in area, but he says you can enjoy the big event throughout downtown.
While you'll technically be outside the NFL One Pass zone, you can go to Grand Circus Park, Beacon Park, Capitol Park, Paradise Valley, Greektown, Eastern Market, Corktown. You will be able to be part of the activity in these surrounding areas.
This is a free event. Don't call around trying to get tickets. All you need is to download the One Pass. If you don't have a One Pass, we have an option for you. Just come on down and enjoy what is going to be a free event for all of us.
And we will have more on the plans for the draft on Local 4 News at 5. Plus, there is a full draft guide online. Just go to the sports page at clickondetroit.com. Well, just a few hours ago, the University of Michigan officially welcomed its new basketball coach to campus. Dusty May is taking over for Juwan Howard, who was let go after 5 seasons. U of M's athletic director says May brings a proven track record to Ann Arbor. The new coach led Florida Atlantic to the Final Four in 2023. Right off the bat, May outlined what he's hoping to do at Michigan.
We have a goal to develop young people and compete for championships, and that goal will never change. But this is one place that everywhere you go, and I didn't know it until I lived in this state down the street, the pride, respect, and admiration for that Block M, for the brand of Michigan. I've never been at another university that had as much pride in as every alum, student, whoever I come across has in this place. So,
We'll hear more from the new coach tonight at 5. May is the 18th head coach for U of M's basketball team. Our changing weather patterns are also changing how we protect our pets. Some veterinarians are waving caution flags about some of the shots and the pills and other stuff that we do to protect our dogs and cats as those seasons change. We're going to bring in Paula Tutman. She's live over in Auburn Hills with some things pet owners should really pay attention to right now. Paula.
Yeah. You know, Karen, there's just so much to think about and talk about and learn about this mild winter we had and this early spring because, listen, it's just plain different. That's just what it is. And that's what lands us at an animal hospital today. Just in case you're wondering, it is not too early to discuss tick and flea preventative. The warm winter and early start to spring and ticks are already active and lurking, says Dr. Jacob Winbigler of Blue Pearl Pet Hospital in Auburn Hills.
With the shift, we definitely need to be more cognizant of applying flea, tick prevention, everything like that on both dogs and cats. Even if cats are indoors, people can track things in, especially fleas, and all it really takes is one flea to cause an infestation.
Yeah, it does feel early, but if you're not thinking seasonal preventatives, you're already late. I know, it's not even April, but we got to talk about tick checks for you and your pet.
They're very tiny, millimeters in size when they're small, and then when they get engorged, when they've taken a blood meal and everything, that's when most people notice them. So the best places to check, there's little folds inside the ear canal, in between the toes, armpits, groin, everything like that are places to check because they can definitely, again, they're very small, so they can hide anywhere.
Parvo, you can't see it, but your animal can get infected with it. If you are walking your dog or live in an area where wild animals urinate and defecate, our warming climate opens the window earlier. That's why puppies need to get vaccinated yesterday.
It will infect the cells that are rapidly growing. The two main areas in a puppy are going to be the bone marrow and the cells of the intestinal lining.
Dogs should be getting heartworm preventative year-round. Some folks do slack off in the winters when mosquitoes go away, but right now is the time to make sure your dog is indeed already on the heartworm preventative in advance of what will likely be an early and very busy year for mosquitoes. And then there is kennel cough. Again, a longer spring means a longer time period your dog could be exposed.
People are going to be going to the parks and everything like that, so making sure that they're up to date on the Bordetella vaccine, that's usually the most common cause that we isolate and diagnose.
Yeah, you know what? And the folks here at Blue Pearl Pet Hospital reminded me of something else that is not weather related, but seasonal related, and that is Easter and all of the things that come with Easter. If you are bringing in a blooming Easter plant, just consider it toxic to animals. If you have pets, don't even bring it into the house. And don't forget about those Easter egg hunts, because if you've got candy out there, that too can harm your dogs and cats. So that's not weather related. It is seasonal related, but again, really important information if you want to keep your pet out of the hospital.
Most
Karen.
definitely. All right. Thank you, Paula.